the only, absolute, and best friend that a man has in this selfish world, the only one that will not betray or deny him, is his dog. King Frederick of Persia, aka a dead dude.
Feeble 180. Feeble backside 180. Feeble shove, front side feeble. Come on, man, it's 2003.
Dude, they're called grapefruit grinds. They're not even feebles, man. I don't know.
That's a shit attitude right there.
Whatever.
That is a
What?
shit attitude.
I mean, get hurt a little bit, get a couple.
Everyone loves dogs. Hitler loved dogs. Everyone loves dogs. They're loyal. It's just, you know, in their instincts and shit. They sit there. They're confused. They got zero clue what's going on, but they happy to be there. Everyone loves dogs. In my political ideology, Heath Ledger Joker once said,
You see, in their last moments, people show you who they really are. So, in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did.
which is actually a very smart statement because he's based and red-pilled, and because you can't be betrayed by a real person because real people are actually smart and can, you know, betray other people. The dogs are fucking stupid, that's why they're epic. Betrayal often leads to the loss of meeting someone you had a last moment with because of the betrayal. Another side of a said person's moral compass, meaning that the real person is exposed, and often the exposure is negative, meaning that once again, in people's last moments, they show you who they really are. Now, look, I love cats, but like, biologically and neurologically, they're much different from dogs. They're fucking assholes. Source, Garfield. Like, this motherfucker kicked Odie off the table. Like, Garfield is a fucking asshole.
Whoever invented Christmas trees should be drug out into the street and shot.
That clip is from 1987, by the way. I'm surprised they got away with that then. But Garfield actually captures the realistic personality of a cat, or at least he used to, like in Garfield Pet Force, where Garfield held a gun. That's a movie for another day. So basically, dogs are mankind's best friend, so that means there's a lot of fucking movies about dogs. Because everyone loves dogs, and studios love money. Lots of talking dogs movie because, you know, dogs can't talk in real life. Isn't it funny how the dog is talking?
What the dog doing?
In fact, most talking animal movies, like, star dogs, because, like, dogs you can actually train to do shit. Like I said, cats are fucking assholes. They just sit there. Evidence Garfield. That's why in, like, the live-action Garfield was, like, CG, but Odie was live-action, because dogs do shit. Cats don't. Cats fucking kick Odie off the table. Now, I don't think this genre of movie is quite as popular as it used to be, but in the 2000s, however, I think live-action talking dog movies were at their peak. Yeah, but, like, talking dog shenanigans is kind of, like, past its prime. But what if I told you there was, in fact, a talking dog movie that was not only a talking dog movie, but also a bad live-action adaptation of, like, a high school drama, and that's the 2010 Marmaduke movie, which, unsurprisingly, no one remembers. But you want to know why I remember it? Because it used to be my second favorite movie of all time, right behind Cars 1. And in fact, I've mentioned this movie on this channel before.
Cars is a movie that I'll always have a personal connection with, regardless of its actual quality, primarily because it was the first movie I ever remember watching, and I was obsessed with it for years. Cars is also my most watched movie to date, which would also be followed with Marmaduke 2010. Yes, this exists, and it also stars Owen Wilson.
Well, it's not because of this. Or this.
But I used to be obsessed with this movie, and part of why I used to be obsessed with it is a little bit strange. See, this movie came out June 4th, 2010, in the United States at least, meaning that promotion at Burger King started on May 31st, 2010, where Marmaduke toys were officially available at Burger King. Hell, there's even a commercial where Marmaduke is with a bunch of kids, and they're eating Burger King, and he jumps over the kids and splashes them, and proceeds to jump on top of Burger King. But I wasn't at Burger King around the time of May 31st, 2010. I happened to be at a Burger King around the time of June 2010. Well, you want to know what happened in June 2010? Besides Marmaduke, stupid fucking Twilight Eclipse came out. You want to know what also was available at Burger King in June 2010? Twilight Eclipse toys. to replace the Marmaduke toys, which came out the last day of May, meaning that for a limited time in the summer of 2010, both Twilight Eclipse and Marmaduke toys were available at Burger King. In fact, I remember at that Burger King, that fine day in the summer of 2010, they had fucking Twilight toys in the case, and that gave me anxiety, because, like, I don't want a stupid fucking Twilight toy. Like, Twilight was, like, for girls and was, like, fucking gay or something, I don't know. But I didn't want that. Actually, you know what? I still don't want Twilight. Fuck Twilight, even though I never actually watched any of it. Fuck Twilight. Thankfully, Burger King, despite advertising Twilight toys, gave me a Marmaduke toy. And it's not like there was an option for, like, both sexes. You know, one being Marmaduke and the other being fucking stupid-ass Twilight. Now, both the toy lines for Twilight Eclipse and Marmaduke Burger King toys had both boy and girl toys for the one property. In fact, King Frederick of Persia, aka a dead dude, once said, "A Twilight toy targeted at either gender is still a Twilight toy, and Twilight is for girls and is fucking gay. Marmaduke for life." Thankfully, I got the Marmaduke toy, and I didn't get the stupid fucking Twilight Eclipse toy. So, shout out to that random person in an Ohio Burger King in the summer of 2010, I guess. But since I became aware of this movie through a fucking Burger King toy, I tragically not get to see Marmaduke in theaters. I did see Beverly Hills Chihuahua 3 in theaters, but not Marmaduke, sadly. So I had to wait until Marmaduke came out in DVD. But I think I got my mom to get it or something at some point. I don't know. She might have found it at the $5 bin at Walmart. I don't know. Like, I was like 5, and like at that age, I rarely went to the theater.
Alright, bitches, Marmaduke on DVD. So as you can see, this is a little fucked up, probably because I watched it so many times as a kid. Surprisingly, there's just a bunch of dents and zero shit stains whatsoever. But you actually pop the bastard open and you can't really see it from the reflection, but like this DVD is incredibly scratched just from simple replay and also poor DVD treatmentship because I was a child.
Yeah, so who knew that a marketing strategy of putting a movie-based toy for free, encouraging you to see the movie, actually fucking worked? You know, and I didn't want that stupid Twilight toy. Like, I was legitimately invested in this movie because of the toy, not being fucking Twilight. But another reason why I was invested is that I kind of had, like, just a small Owen Wilson phase as, like, a 5-year-old.
Wow.
Like, if you could call it a phase, because it was really only 2 movies. I guess we could throw in Cars 2 and Mater's Tall Tales as well.
Wow, check out that moon.
Yep, I've been up there.
You have not.
Oh yeah, it's real pretty.
Wait a second, that's not Owen Wilson.
Wow, check out that moon.
Wow. That's Keith Ferguson, aka Blue from Foster's Home. I actually made an error when discussing Mater's Tall Tales. I should have said Keith Ferguson's car, not Owen Wilson's car. Cars 1 and Marmaduke I have legitimately seen over 100 times, and they both star Owen Wilson, so I never called him, like, my favorite actor or anything. I was never obsessed with him, but, like, holy shit, I think, like, 6-year-old me had an Owen Wilson phase. Holy shit, I had an Owen Wilson phase. You want to know what wasn't actually part of my Owen Wilson phase? Another Owen Wilson dog movie, Marley and Me, which I never even knew had Owen Wilson in it until researching this video. Like, what the fuck, Mom? How come I never got this DVD? It's a dog movie, and it has Owen Wilson. That was, like, 5-year-old me's top 2 priorities for good movie. See, I knew about Marley and Me because I heard that the dog fucking dies at the end, and I didn't want that. So, like, I never watched Marley and Me. Owen Wilson was on some promotional material for the movie, even though it was being overshadowed by the dog. But I didn't know what Owen Wilson looked like until, like, years after that phase ended. Like, I thought this guy was just a voice actor. No, Owen Wilson has an extensive acting career. I just used to be obsessed with 2 of his shit movies. I don't know. I was like 5. Exactly my type of movie. It had Owen Wilson in it, and it had a dog in it that talked. So, like, that's like the perfect film for 6-year-old me. Of course I fucking love this. But let's see how Marmaduke 2010 holds up.
You can either like complain or you can skate. You're like a hypochondriac. You're the worst kind of hypochondriac. You're a hypochondriac in denial.
But this movie, overall, spoilers, does not hold up. In fact, it feels quite directionless. My biggest issue is the overall lack of direction. For example, it starts in a high school with a human, but this human is presumed to be an outcast because he's huge, which just reminds me of the epic Netflix duology Tall Girl starring Ava from Pedo Competition, I mean Dance Moms, where the girl, get this, is really tall, and that's the conflict of the movie. But for some reason, this movie, instead of just being excuses to write scenes of a dog just being a dog, it's like a shitty high school drama mixed with like Adam Sandler-esque humor, of course, but it's like a dog movie. But it stars Owen Wilson dog, who is like a fucking asshole to his owners. And I guess it does a good job of displaying his unlikability very quickly, but Owen Wilson dog's family is fucking rich, and he's a pain in the ass, and he's not likable. But he's not like a likable asshole like Garfield, who kicks Odie off the table. Like, there's no substance to anything he does. He just does shit for no reason, and it's not funny. He's just an asshole. But the fact that Owen Wilson dog is an epic MLG prankster gangster actually brings us to a commendable aspect of the film, and that's the actual physical tricks involved with the dogs. Now, obviously, all the dogs, like, speaking is like CGI, which is kind of a mixed bag. Marmaduke's like jowls on his mouth are kind of uncanny valley because those are positions that dogs would never make. Just because it looks weird doesn't mean it looks bad necessarily. Like, it still looks geometrically attached to his face. The dogs do lots of shitty, unfunny things, but like, that's difficult to get a real dog to do, so yeah, it's actually kind of commendable that they pulled the trick off. But Owen Wilson dog loves to just Owen Wilson and like provides lots of wacky commentary. But his owner's name is Phil, and Phil has a wife and 3 children, and as well as a cat named Carlos, who is voiced by George Lopez. So these are the heroes of the story. Owen Wilson dog and George Lopez cat. Phil gets a job offer in California, which serves as a metaphor for moving to a new school, but Owen Wilson dog can't go to school, he's a dog. So they decide to move to California, and of course, California shenanigans ensue. And there's like a really epic scene where they're playing Tupac on the highway. I can't play the song for copyright reasons. Scene is just raw as fuck.
If the floor where I'm sleeping, she gon' do the dishes, she gon' mind her business. This is a pigeon. I feel like Charlie Brown, except I ain't brown. Bitch, I'm green. This is the sound of a lottery machine. I got a lot of green. Look at my shoes, them bitches.
But then we get introduced to all the new dogs, which are just high school stereotypes, but dogs. But there's like nerd and sissy and tomboy girl and popular girl and like the bully, whose name is like Bosco, like the shitty fucking school cheese sticks. But anyway, Owen Wilson dog wants to fuck the popular girl dog, but like Breadstick is like, nuh-uh. So how is Owen Wilson dog gonna get the girl? Man, this is what I think when I hear animal movie. Like, this is... So Owen Wilson dog is a simp now, and we get introduced to a completely useless plot point of a homeless dog that's sick with rabies. I guess he's trying to be like Marley, the old guy from Home Alone, or hell, even the pigeon lady in Home Alone 2. But he's only in the movie for like 2 scenes and could be cut completely. Like, it's set up as this major plot point, but like, no, they don't do anything with it. Maybe he's supposed to be like that homeless man that would ride the bus to school every day. But like, this character is pointless. In fact, fucking Spooky Buddies even did a creepy, mysterious dog character much better with the Halloween Hound, who can petrify things with his breath, but he gets farted on and then he petrifies himself.
Do it, dog!
No, this can't be happening.
Our secret weapon. That was wicked, dude!
But due to the ongoing rivalry between Owen Wilson dog and Breadstick, they're like throwing epic parties and shit.
A white boy who busts it down sexual style is not necessarily considered goated with the sauce.
That's what I've been saying, Tucker. It's crazy to me that they don't think he's goated with the sauce. You can see him on the yard right there, actually. He's buzzing it down sexual style, and they want to say he's not goated with the sauce. It's really despicable.
Then the house gets completely fucking trashed, and Phil is pissed, so Owen Wilson dog decides to run away, but then homeless dog says don't run away, so he goes back to the house. Or at least try to, because the fucking earthquake comes out of nowhere in a forced attempt for a climax. Like, again, it reminds me of like a bad Adam Sandler movie. It's like, fuck it, there's gotta be some suspension out of nowhere, climax time, even though we've been nothing but fucking dicking off the whole movie. Like, for example, in Grown Ups, it's just, like, fucking dicking around for, like, 2/3 of the movie, and then they gotta have, like, a final act, so, like, they play basketball, and Norma North voice actor Rob Schneider is here.
Adam Sandler? What are you doing here?
Waiting for them to play Gangnam Style.
But Owen Wilson gets saved, and instead of breadstick girlfriend dog, which he wants, he hooks up with tomboy dog instead. Because it's a 2000s, early 10s kids movie, of course it ends with a dance party using a licensed song with bad CG, and they bust it down sexual style and be goated with the sauce. And then everyone's happily ever after, and as a kid, this got me over 100 rewatches. It never got a sequel, which obviously disappointed me as a kid.
Oh man, I really hope they make a fucking Marmaduke too.
A few moments later.
Guys, you don't know how badly I wanted Marmaduke 2 to come out. It was never announced or anything because the movie made no fucking money. But who knows, Marmaduke 2 could still happen. But, like, surprisingly, this movie had, like, nothing to do with the source material. See, Marmaduke was a comic strip that debuted in, like, 1954, and from what I could find, is still going somehow. But the main role of the author, Brad Anderson, who passed away in 2015, then the role was passed to his son, Paul Anderson, who, from what little information I could find, oversees all major operations involving the intellectual property of Marmaduke, and hasn't actually illustrated or published anything, but like the series officially hasn't been canceled or whatever. I could be wrong on that. But like Marmaduke the comic, from over 50 years of syndication, which is weird because I've never heard anyone mention this in public. Like, I've never seen something so ongoing get so little attention from the mainstream media. Like, if this comic ran for like over 50 fucking years, you figured it'd be like a household name, but like, no. How is this still going? Does anyone give a shit still? Yeah, I don't think exactly Marmaduke the comic resonated with multiple generations. Like, if any, like, fucking 50s kids are watching my videos for some reason, you know, give me some info on that. Was, like, Marmaduke the hot shit back then? You know, like, the Sunday funnies ain't exactly all the rage anymore, because, like, we have the Garfield show where he kicks Odie off the table instead. Now, I could be wrong on this, but, the last, like, newspaper using entirely original comics with an entire dedicated comic section in a Sunday special, so, like, the main shit came out in, like, 1971. So, yeah, I guess ever since, like, the early 70s, the Sunday funnies ain't exactly all the rage anymore. Yet most of this shit is, like, disconnected from the internet. I'm gonna need a fact check on that if you can prove it. Not many people talk about Marmaduke the comic, even though it went on for 50 plus fucking years. I can recall it was referenced in That 70s Show, like, once as, like, a one-off line.
I know, man. Where's Marmaduke?
Guys, wasn't That 70s Show just a classic? Be sure to comment which character you jacked off to the most. Mine is Donna's dad.
Oh, hang on. The creator was impersonated on Rick and Morty once.
Hi, I'm Brad Anderson, creator of the nationally syndicated comic strip Marmaduke. You should consider being a creative. I'm haunted by uncontrollable thoughts of mutilation and sexual assault on a near daily basis. But you know, I channel it all into my work.
Oh, whoa!
Huh, I never got that impression from reading Marmaduke.
Well, did you get the impression I was trying to make you laugh?
So yeah, in conclusion, Marmaduke was a comic that had over 5 decades of content, yet no one fucking talks about it at all. Probably because the comic fucking sucks. You see, the only reason why I knew Marmaduke was a comic before this video is that my dad told me, because Although Marmaduke DVD was a mom's house thing, my dad was still aware of my crippling Marmaduke addiction because I knew Marmaduke for that epic 2010 movie. And my father was born in the 80s, whose mother was born in the 50s, so like my grandma was the Marmaduke generation, so that's probably why my dad knew about it. Like, it's just this random obscure comic that apparently was like the funniest shit of all time in the 50s. Well, get it, the dog is fucking big. Like I said, Marmaduke the comic fucking sucks. It's just like, it's so conservative and being safe for children. Like, there's zero substance to anything. Like, Garfield is the shit because he's an asshole and he kicks Odie off the table. He's big, I guess, haha. Great Danes are big dogs. And they're like one comic panels too, so like the punchline is limited to one frame, which also significantly limits it. I'm pretty sure Mom asked me to take you for a walk. Get it? Marmaduke is big because he's a Great Dane, and Great Danes are big, and he's bigger than the child, because get it, the roles are reversed. Ain't that fucking hilarious? This is the first time I've ever been hugged by a dog. Get it? Because like women's standards are subverted because humans are generally bigger than dogs, but Marmaduke is a big dog, and he could do something that the other dogs can't do. Like, yeah. A majority of the jokes in the comic are just Marmaduke is big. Like, it's an unfunny joke, just fucking repeated constantly, and there's like no other substance beyond anything. Not one cat is knocked off of the table. Lucky you, Marmaduke really likes you. Get it? The woman is afraid of getting hurt because the dog is fucking big. Why are all the jokes the dog is fucking big? Hey, what happened to all the raisins in my cereal? Oh, get wrecked, you fucking shithead. Your raisins in your cereal are being fed to the dog. And dogs can't have raisins or they'll fucking explode. Who cares if the dog is gonna fucking die? You don't have raisins in your cereal. Yeah, I guess this is like 50s humor summed up then. If any 50s kids are watching my videos and can say that it wasn't funny then, thank you. So like late 2000s, they're like, fuck it, let's reboot it. We're making all these dog movies. Gotta make a dog movie out of this one. This is based on a presumably nostalgic property and has a dog in it. You figured it would have been a slam dunk financially, but nah. So yeah, tragically, Owen Wilson Dog, the movie, made no shadonkers. But believe it or not, another company had faith in this property because it was good enough for a comic to go on for 50 fucking years and to get a movie. So like, that's something, I guess.
Man, I'm not trying to get down on you. I'm trying to light a fire under you, man. Get you to do some flip in, flip out shit.
I'm not trying to flip in, flip out. That's just...
I'm talking to Frost, man. Let him speak.
I'm over it. I'm trying to like finish this part.
Then do what?
Every spot sucks. You're getting kicked out.
I'm getting kicked out. Stop right there. Did everyone hear what he said? You know, when I call you up and say what...